The Cigar Nerds Podcast.
And welcome back to Cigar Nerds YouTube channel. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe. And today, I am smoking the Punch People's Champ. I can tell you right now, it's initial thoughts. It's got some good flavor to it. It's kind of interesting cigar because literally the people designed this cigar. Punch has a thing called the Punch Brotherhood, and they basically sent out a questionnaire of it was 3,100 different possible combinations of tobacco and had people vote, and the People's Champ is the blend that the internet came up with collectively. May give you a review of this at the end, or may not, may save that for a podcast, because what we're about to do today is probably going to blow out my taste buds. So it's getting hot in here. So today I'm going to do you've seen hot ones. I'm not being original. I'm going to eat hot stuff and then maybe try to tell you a couple things. So we are we're using the Book of Pleasure and Pain by Kickin Hot Sauce. This thing has 12 different hot sauces, each one hotter than the rest. I think it's also got some age on it, because I think I got this as a gift like a year or so ago, and I'm just now opening it up. Yeah, so we have Kickin Bacon, Chili Lime, Sriracha, Cajun, Original Hot Sauce, Wasabi Hot Sauce, Roasted Garlic Hot Sauce from Hell, Devil's Revenge, Kickin Ghost Pepper, Ass Blaster, and Spontaneous Combustion. So yeah, and I don't have hot wings, so I had to go get some chicken nuggies, because I didn't have time to cook for this shit. So we'll be back in a second and prepare for the pain. And welcome back to watching me hurt myself for clicks and likes. So please like, comment, share, subscribe. So any of these hot sauce challenges you see on, and we have our lineup here, from least hot to I might die. But there's always someone interviewing someone while they're suffering through this, and since I'm here by myself, I scoured the internet for all these internet lists of top 10 things cigar smokers should know, 15 secrets of cigar smoking, and I kind of picked a random 12 that I will kind of be going through and commenting on as I attempt this challenge. So, without further ado, we're going to start down here with the Kickin Bacon Hot Sauce. Alright. Not bad. Not even really hot. Just kind of like with most fake bacon flavoring, it's usually just heavy on the liquid smoke. So nothing spectacular. Take another bite here. Yeah, that's not bad. So our first things all cigar smokers should know is these are like handmade. These aren't made in a factory per se. I mean, handmade artisanal products, and that term's thrown around a lot. But literally, the going theory on average is 200 pairs of hands touch one of these before it makes it to your humidor. From the planting to the growing, the aging, the rolling, and then, retailers. So this is a truly handmade product. Now, on to things that are a little less natural. Number 2, which is the Kickin Chili Lime. Number 2 on the old heat scale here. All right, that one's not really hotter, but a little more bitterness to it because of that chili lime. Definitely feel this one on my tongue a little bit more than the the bacon, but still not. And we haven't got to the hard stuff yet. As you can see on the box, there's like they have these rated from candy ass, ass kicking, whoop ass, and then kick your ass. So we are definitely still in the candy ass side of the challenge here. Oh, and our next fact: no humidor, no problem. I've got 3 humidors in my house. They're all empty because basically, unless I'm reviewing a cigar, I rarely smoke at home. I like the social aspect, so when I smoke, I usually go out somewhere to smoke. So I don't really keep a whole lot of cigars on hand. And even if you, like I said, if you're not going to have a lot of cigars on hand, you don't really need to buy an expensive humidor. Some kind of sealed container, like a Tupperware thing with a Brevita humidification pack. Don't put them in your fridge because that will dry them out. But yeah, any kind of sealed container, like a Ziploc bag and a humidistick will keep your cigars good for, I don't know, several days, several weeks. The thing of mine that gets the most use is this little travel humidor, because most of the time I've only got, a couple of sticks on hand at home, and that's a kind of an inexpensive alternative to one of the big humidors. All right, next up, we have the Sriracha, which everybody knows what Sriracha tastes like. This particular here is a little bit darker than your regular like Sriracha brand Sriracha. So we'll see what kind of difference we get here. Yeah, their Sriracha does not really taste like the traditional red bottle Sriracha. Got a little heat on the back end. It's a little smokier. Like, I don't know if this is like a roasted Sriracha or what, but that one's got a little bit more heat, but a lot of flavor there. If you're a Sriracha eater, this may be the sauce for you. All right, question number 3. Darker doesn't always mean stronger. So if you're new to smoking and you're like, want something light, let me get a light, cigar the color of a nugget here. Or if I want something strong, let me get the blackest cigar in the humidor. There's light colored cigars that have, or lighter wrappered cigars, like a Connecticut cigar that has like Ligero tobacco in it, and it's got like a little bit of strength. And then there is really dark Maduro cigars that are kind of have a sweeter flavor to them. So strength is kind of indicative of the blend, which you may not see just from judging on the outside wrapper. So, talk to your tobacconists and see what they recommend. That's not one of my suggestions here, but keep notes if you're a new smoker and be like, pick something random, like, all right, I like this. These are the flavors I got, or this is the level of strength I got from it. And then be like, you can take that to someone who knows cigars, your local tobacconist, and be like, hey, I smoked this. I liked this. I didn't like this. I want something with more of this flavor, or something stronger, something lighter. And then they can kind of guide you from that starting point, and then kind of do the same thing with your next cigar. I'm like, all right, this was better, worse, whatever, and kind of find your way. All right, next up is the Cajun Hot Sauce, which I do like some Cajun flavor and some old Tony Chachere's and whatnot. So let's see how the Cajun kick-ass is. Also, I eat hot stuff all the time, so I'm going a little more of this one because, oh, there it is. Yeah, this one's kind of mild up front, but then there's heat on the back end, which, to me, well, it's Cajun. This is probably no hotter than your regular Louisiana hot sauce that you get at the grocery store. Tastes pretty good, but yeah, we're not in the heat zone yet. All right, now we're up to four. How to cut a cigar. know if you can see here, cigars are usually, there's a cap, a rounded tip, and then kind of straight sides. You want to cut just above where that roundness starts, because this is what keeps your cigar wrapper in one piece. So if you cut below this, where it's, now the shaft of the cigar, your cigar is going to unravel. So you want to cut just enough to put a hole in your cigar, and then that will allow your cigar to kind of maintain structural integrity for the duration of your smoke. Next up, the Wasabi. Oh, nope, this is the original. I'm ahead of myself. So yeah, we have the original. Yeah, we're kind of at Tabasco level now. I'm still not regretting this decision. If anybody's watched like Hot Ones, the first half you're like, oh yeah, these are good, little flavor. And then you get to the back half and you're like, oh, what? I've made a mistake. I've definitely fucked up. The next thing cigars from here. Smoke cool and slow. You're not smoking a cigarette. This is humidified tobacco. It's meant to smoke slowly. I mean, they say you should probably puff on it once every 30 seconds to a minute. Because if you puff, 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 it actually gets hotter and will cause your cigar to go bitter. So if you're getting a real harsh flavor out of a cigar, it may mean you're smoking it too quickly. And you also have the opposite. If you smoke it too slow, it's going to go out and you have to keep relighting, and that's going to cause its own kind of flavor issues over time. So cigars are meant to be enjoyed. Slow down. Now we're at the Wasabi. And this one I may regret, just because I don't like wasabi. I mean, I have a little bit with some sushi, but it's a fine dance. You're like measuring like when you're eating, and then you get a little bit too much in one bite, and you're like, oh, there went my sinuses. So yeah, let's see what wasabi does to me. I don't even let's go straight sauce. That's not bad. I mean, it's got a hint of wasabi, but it's not. You get that wasabi tingle a little bit afterward, but it's not painful. It's kind of a nice hint of wasabi. So that brings us on to our next thing. Price is not always an indicator of quality. What I mean by that is, and smoking too slow, I've gone out here, is there are some really good $5-6 cigars. I mean, this here is like a $7 cigar, so like the Punch Knuckle Buster. There's good cheaper cigars, and then there's really bad expensive cigars. I mean, there's I mean, we did a review on the was it the Gurkha Triad? And a lot of that's kind of I don't know, a marketing thing. Like, we're a luxury cigar, we want to charge you $100. And I smoked it, and I'm like, yeah, it's a really good $20 cigar. I'd rather buy 3 Opus X's for the same price of the Triad. So don't be afraid to buy a less expensive cigar. And also, if you kind of do your research, if you buy a more expensive cigar, it's kind of up to, is it worth it to you, to your palate? Like, you may like the expensive cigar. I may think it's shit. But so buying the most expensive cigar is not always an indicator of this is the best cigar because it's the most expensive. Sometimes it's just marketing. Now, after the wasabi, roasted garlic. Ooh. I hear vampires hate this hot sauce. Not my joke. That's what's on the box. Okay, this one's got a little kind of step up in the heat, but that garlic has some good flavor. If you like a nice garlic garlicky bread, I guess. I don't know. Whatever you put garlic in. Italian food. A little hit on the heat there on the back end. If you're a crazy person like me and like throw hot sauce on pizza, that might be the sauce for you. Next up, Cubans aren't always the best. There, I said it. Cuban cigars have gotten this kind of air of mystery, like, oh my god, we can't have them, so they must be awesome. And you get the occasional douchebag that's like, I only smoke Cuban cigars. They're making products that are better out of the Nicaragua, Dominican, really anywhere. It's like, hell, we make cigars here in the U.S. Location's not always a indicator of quality. And yeah, there are legendary Cuban cigars, but, you know, once Castro and all that took over, a lot of those original Cuban cigar makers left the country and started farms in Nicaragua, the Dominican, hell, even Mexico. So your Cohiba you're getting today may not necessarily be the Cohiba that originally was. And, you know, most of the cigar factories are all owned by the government, and anything government run, not always a sign of quality. Next up. Alright. I'm starting to get, might have been that last one, but there's a heat buildup. Like, I'm mouth starting to water it now. Like I said, I haven't got anything that is like, I'm hurting yet, but I'm like, there's definitely a cumulative effect here. Next up, we have hot sauce from hell. Yeah, so these last five are probably going to be the ones that start to suck a little. I got a water bottle there on the floor. I haven't had to dip into that yet, so we'll see if I can keep talking after these next couple. Okay, hot sauce from hell is actually pretty fucking good. See, my normal go-to hot sauce is pretty much something habanero. So I think we're at the kind of habanero level of heat with this hot sauce from hell. I mean, it's kind of building up as we go, but if you like the was it the Yucatan habanero, that's pretty much what my go-to is. Ooh, yeah, that one would be dangerous in high quantities, but yeah, we've reached my level of like, this is where I like the spicy I like to be when I'm cooking. So these last four are probably gonna start to suck. This one's starting to suck in the back of my throat. Fact number 8: butane is your friend. You should really, you know, these lighters are filled with like triple filtered butane, so it takes most of the impurities out. So you don't add a fuel flavor to your cigar. So you want to either cedar matches or something that uses butane. You don't want to use your standard cigarette lighter or a Zippo that has liquid fuel, because that's going to impart a fuel taste to your cigar and kind of fuck things up. Or this, or wood. Some people even will like light a piece of cedar and then use that burning just piece of wood to light their cigars. Ooh, excuse me. So that's definitely a feeling the heat. Cleaner way to light your cigar. So yeah, that's what you should do if you want to only taste your cigar and not taste Zippo fuel. All right. Next up, we have the From Hell Part 2 Hot Sauce from Hell Devil's Revenge, which this one's a little bit more liquidy than the previous one. So I'm thinking this may have more of that OC extract in it. Yeah, if you look at the back of the bottle, made with 1 million Scoville capsum extract. So yeah, this is where we get into this shit's just straight painful. I've had worse, but we're now starting to get into that it's just heat, no flavor category. And speaking of flavored, next up, never store flavored cigars with non-flavored cigars. My wife is an acid smoker. I got to keep those in like away from my cigars if I have to store some of those in the humidor, because cigars are basically sponges. They soak up moisture. So if you put some kind of like blueberry flavored cigar in a box with all your other premium smokes, eventually all your smokes are going to smell or taste like that flavored cigar. So if you happen to get a hold of some flavored cigars, absolutely keep them in a separate humidor, separate travel humidor, something separated from your standard smoking fare. If I'm starting to sweat now, it's not the hot sauce. Turn the AC off. It's making too much noise, but also it's the hot sauce. This, like I said, that last one started to hurt a little bit. Next up, Ask Kickin Ghost Pepper Hot Sauce, which I also have the Whoop Ass Ghost Pepper Hot Sauce, which I've not tried yet. Maybe we'll do that on another episode, which I think it's the same company, so it actually may be the the same sauce. Yeah, this one doesn't have any special warning on the back of it of how hot it's going to be, which if this one's a million, this one's got to be a step up from that. Ghost pepper's one of those that, like, I don't know, I think I've become accustomed to it. I've tried a few ghost pepper things, and they do suck, but it's not, like, unbearable where it's like, oh, fuck, we're screwed at this point. I mean, we tried some ghost pepper jerky one time, and actually was pretty fucking good. I'm waiting for it to hurt, because a lot of these like this will like, oh, that's like got some good flavor up front, and then the heat just starts building as you wait it out, which kind of had a sweetness up front, but yeah, it's starting to build as I sit here. Next up, Cigar Anatomy. Your center of your cigar. That is your filler tobaccos, that's where they blend several different tobaccos, or all one matter, to get kind of build on that flavor profile. This flavor profile is fucking hot. Just above what holds that structure of the cigar, that holds the filler together, that is your binder leaf. Binder leaf, a lot of the time, is the same. It's what would normally be a wrapper leaf. So you may see Habano, Mexican San Andreas used as a binder. When you get to the wrapper, which is this outer leaf, it has to look good. I mean, if it looks like shit, you're not going to want to smoke it. So a lot of the time, the kind of wrapper leaves that don't make it through quality control, they might have a small blemish or something, that'll end up going into your binder because no one sees that. And your outer leaf, that ends up being about, I don't know, 60-80% of what at least your initial flavors come from. As far as, the flavors and whatnot, so if you find a wrapper leaf that you like, you might like other cigars that have that same makeup. All right, now we're down to our final two. And my tongue is starting to hurt. The next one, Ass Blaster. Shout out to Tremors. If you ever go back and listen to our Tremors podcast, we kind of had a game to see how many times we could say Ass Blaster in a single podcast. I think it was 27. May have been more. Oh yeah? I see you there, little guy. I'm not scared. It's another one of those sneakers that, like, as I start talking about the next item, the heat is going to build. Like, yeah, I can definitely feel this when my tongue and lips are starting to not like this. I don't know if I can taste this cigar anymore. I just taste pain. There's no flavor to this other than fucking hot. This is a good shenanigan hot sauce. It's not gonna enhance the flavor of whatever you're eating. It's just gonna like cover it all up and make you sweat. Aging is important. You don't smoke tobacco right off the plant. Like it has to go through a fermentation process. There's aging in the kind of all the stages of cultivation. Like, tobacco gets aged for a certain amount of time. And even once it's, actually, I'm starting to drool a little. Actually assembled, sometimes they'll age them once they're even wrapped. And as long as you keep a cigar humidified at 70%, at around 70 degrees, they'll last for forever. So you can actually, even once you purchase a cigar, age it. See what your flavor does change over time. Sometimes it gets milder, sometimes it don't. So yeah, something that I smoke fresh on the shelf today may develop a different flavor profile 5 years from now. So as long as you keep your humidor well maintained, you can actually, age cigars for several years. I mean, I've smoked a couple that were like 5-6 years old, and yeah, it changed over time. It kind of, I don't know, the blend, I guess, kind of solidifies more. It kind of blends together. So yeah, it's like, it's interesting. You can age cigars like you age wine. Fuck, now I have to do this to myself. Spontaneous combustion. This would be the equivalent of the freaking last dab, I guess, on on Hot Ones. If you haven't watched that show, it's probably one of the best celebrity interview shows. It's this, they make celebrities eat hot wings and answer questions. Fuck you for making me do this. While the others, like I said, there was a build-up. No, this one, like, hits you straight off the bat. It sucks. I'm going to go in for another one. And then try to wrap this up. Oh, yeah, nose starting to run. Sinuses are open. Mouth's on fire. I'll definitely do a review of this fresh cigar later on, probably on the next episode of the podcast, because, yeah, I can't taste anything at this point other than fire and regret. The last thing everyone should know, never grind out your cigar. It's not a cigarette. Cigarette smokers, when you finish smoking, you're like, help me. Grind that into the ashtray. Do not do that with a cigar. This is humidified tobacco. It will go out on its own if you quit smoking it. And all you're going to do is cause a huge, stinky cloud of smoke of that not good flavored tobacco. And it will smoke for a long time if you grind it out like that. And stink up your smoking area and probably piss off all the other cigar smokers that are there with you. So just, that's kind of like a etiquette thing you do when you're smoking cigars. So yeah, when you get to wherever you're done smoking, just lay it down. It'll go out on its own in a minute or so. Don't grind it down. And yeah, this last one sucks. I said my mouth is on fire. I am definitely drooling, snotting. The sweat is no longer just from the no air conditioning here. That one sucks. So I'm going to try to put out this fire and get to where I can actually taste this cigar again and enjoy my night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, if you want to see us do other weird shit like this, if you want to see my partner Brad have to take the challenge on his own since he wasn't here to help me with this, hit us up in the comments.